Here we are. Who would have thought at the beginning of the season, as we're sitting here on the Week 6 preview, we are talking about the game of the week being the Detroit Lions, who sit at 4-1, first place. Jay, where are they at? Where are they at?
Hey, look.
First
place, bro. I don't know what to say. First place.
First place Lions. I mean, we picked them all to win the division.
Yeah, we did.
Definitely did to win the North.
But they may be. I know this is another topic, and this is for another time. But they're actually, we did kind of talk. I think we talked about it off air, Jordan. They're one of those top powerhouse teams. Remember we talked about we talked about the Bills, the Chiefs, and
your hierarchy. They'd be in the top 5.
Yeah.
Be in the top 5. Got a 2-game lead in the NFC North, playing against the other first place team in the NFC South in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now. The two teams that reside in the West reside in the East. That guy's squad over there, that guy's team over there.
Okay. I was like, what?
The Eagles and the Niners are the powerhouses.
No, he
the powerhouses of the conference.
No, he's like, those teams that reside in the West reside in the East. I'm like, what? Like, the word just threw me off. I was like, what you talking about?
NFC West, NFC East, my bad.
Got you. Okay,
yeah,
appreciate
NFC West, NFC East, yeah. The teams that reside over there obviously are the cream of the crop when it comes to the conference, but these are the two other division winners in it, and they are going to square off right now, both of them exceeding expectations right now. Love what I'm seeing from both of these squads. They've been our ICUs, both of these teams, for different reasons. Jay, to swing it over to you to start right now as we look at this Detroit Lions offense. Jared Goff, how good is this man playing right now?
He's playing good, bro. He's playing just as good as he was playing last year. Really good. I mean, he's also one that's really good with the play action pass as well. I think one thing that Ben Johnson is doing, which I think is really, really smart, is that although his own creativeness is different from Sean McVay, he knew what Jared Goff was really good with in LA with the Rams, and that was a play action pass. And that's what he's able to do here, man. I mean, he's accurate. He's, he feels he's comfortable in the pocket. He believes in what this coaching, this scheme is about. He has the weapons, he trusts his weapons. He's getting the protection too. I think sometimes he holds on to the ball a little bit too long. I think he has a little bit too much comfortability at times, but Jared Goff is one of the, I would say he's probably, he's top 10 right now, bro.
Bro, I put him 10 at my third quarterback right now when I did my all-pro list. Yeah. He was my third team quarterback.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right now.
But I mean, he's playing that well, bro. And this is not like, this would be different if this was last year. And, the year before he didn't play well or whatever. He played really good last year. And now we're going on to this year. So this don't look like no type of fluke.
I think he's playing better.
You think so? I think
he's honestly playing better.
Year. The only thing is I'm just starting to notice it. He just holds on to the ball a little bit too long at times. Yeah. And I didn't really, maybe he was doing that last year. I didn't see him do that last year really. But here, that's my only thing with him. He holds on to the ball a little bit too long. I know he has a good offensive line there. I get he trusts them. But I just, that's my only flaw with him. But he's playing well. He's playing well, bro. I like what he's doing.
I definitely do too. Couple things right now where Goff is at in terms of like number spectrum when we look at his chart. Off target throw weight, 6th lowest in the NFL. He's only off target on 8.8%. Adjusted completion percentage, which is a stat that tracks, it takes drops out of the equation, like a wide open ass drop. Like the quarterback did his job. Don't discredit the receiver. Don't discredit the quarterback. Adjusted completion rate is first in the NFL. Fewest turnover-worthy plays in the NFL right now. 6th in big-time throws in the NFL. Another stat that PFF tracks. He's also at 4th in overall pass TDs. What all of these numbers are showing me, and all the things that I notice when I watch this guy on tape, and how both of them correlate. This guy is now not only just playing within the confines of the offense, but he's putting a little sauce on it in the sense of that he's maximizing what's there. It's a slant route. You want to hit it on time. It's open within the offense. It's a good scheme. You could target the guy and he can catch it on his hip, or you could target the guy and he catches it running in stride. Like those little tiny edges. It's just like Al Pacino said on Any Given Sunday, piece with inches. Jared Goff is exceeding in the inches right now. And that's really what I'm loving seeing from him. And him paired with Ben Johnson, honestly, if I'm Detroit, like he's going to go and he's going to have those aspirations. But what is Jared Goff without Ben Johnson? going? That's something that
That's
if I'm the Lions,
something
I don't want to see.
that is a great question.
You know,
Because at
he's
that
doing
point,
it.
I don't even know if you want Ben Johnson to go anywhere. If
You
I'm the
don't. They were
GM,
thrilled to have him back.
if I'm the GM, I'm trying to make him, assistant head coach. I'm trying to give him more money because you're right. Because Jared Goff had his up and down moments, and it could take the wrong coach, a different scheme, and just change, and then you would just see the Jared Goff of old. And I don't mean the
Yeah.
old from the Rams. I mean
And
I'll say the end of the Rams, the end
First year
of
with
the
the
Rams
Lions.
era. Yeah,
Or the first year with the Lions.
or the
First year with the Lions,
first
yeah.
year with the Lions. The end of the
we've
Rams
seen-
and the first year with the Lions is what I would say.
We've seen him with, Sean McVay, Ben Johnson dialing things up. I mean, the guy has had it made, but like he's capitalizing it. I'm love seeing it right now. But that's a good point too, Jay. Corday, swing this one over to you. As far as the Buccaneers defense, Todd Bowles, another guy over there, that type of matchup from Ben Johnson going at a Todd Bowles defense. What do you think we see from this Buccaneers D?
We're gonna see a lot of man coverage. That's what they specialize in. A lot of blitzing. The thing that you really need to we focus in. They got the second best offensive line in the league right now. So it's gonna be hard to try to simulate pressure with it. You got to stop the running game though. David Montgomery has been running all over. He had 31 carries.
Say that
last.
again. Wait. Who? We're running back.
David Montgomery.
Same one. It ain't the same one. I just wasn't sure.
Montgomery. David Montgomery.
All right. I
had started to write that down, and I was like, "Nah, I know we'll get there." And then I forgot about it. And then, thank you, bruh. Thank you.
What you trying to say? What you trying to say, man? What you trying to say?
Hey, he's balling. I want you to say it. I don't got nothing to say. I just want. I like when I'm here. I couldn't hear it first. I thought I had to maybe put my headphones out. Or something.
I mean, he usually have like 3 or 4 weeks. Then he get hurt. Well, he was already hurt, and then he just like become null and void after that. I mean, he keep Jameer
He's
Gibbs
got like some of the most rushing yards in the NFL and some of the most touchdowns, but he like missed a week. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he was hurt. Fault. I mean, people get hurt.
He didn't play 1 week, but he still like has like some.
He had 31 carries. He had 31 carries. So that's a lot of opportunities. That's a lot of opportunities right there.
So he only played.
Going on how good he's playing. I'm sorry.
He only played in 4 games, but he's third in the NFL in missed tackles forced. He's third in the NFL in missed tackles forced. Third.
My bad. It's the reason why he on another team, right? It's the reason why he on another team. My bad. Yeah, my bad.
Good players go to new teams all the time. Y'all got AJ Brown.
Yeah, and not only that, and not only that. Come on, the Bears is all type of confused. They all type of confused, bro.
Anyway, we're gonna stop the running game. We're gonna stop the running game, okay? They stop the running game.
Look at it, it's we. It's like I'm about to be out.
Well, I'm talking about from the Buccaneers. For this segment, it is we. For this segment right here, we as the Bucs, we're gonna stop that run defense against this number 5. I don't even want to say the player's name. The player.
Number 5.
We'll stop the running game against the player. Because people over here on the SSAW cover 0 got favoritism to certain players. So we're going to stop.
Favoritism, right? Bruh. You hated on David Montgomery signing on the offseason preview. You did not like that.
I did. I mean, because I would always see it. He's having a good game right now and stuff like that. He would always have 3 to 4 good weeks, and then after that, it'll just be like, that's what I was saying. Right now, he's having a good few weeks.
Okay.
Let's see for the season. All right.
Okay.
And so they have to stop the running game. They have to stop the player. All right, in the running game. Okay.
Anytime you tell me Eagles having a good get like so far for this season, I'm just saying he's having a good.
You ain't even talking about my team.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say he's just, Jason Kelsey's just having a good few weeks.
My
bad.
I mean,
we keep cutting you off.
I ain't seen that player number 5 be all pro. That's all I'm saying. I ain't seen him make a Pro Bowl. That's all I'm saying. Well, no, he did make
Pro Bowl.
He made one like a few years ago. My bad.
All pro. You're right.
He did. He made.
He's never been an all pro.
Corday, what would you say though? He made what? I didn't. Don't get quiet. I didn't hear you. What'd you say? He made.
My computer froze. What'd you say?
Oh, you got. It's really stuck, bro. Too.
My computer.
But he heard me because he said my computer froze.
Well, I mean, so the fun thing about it is, when we get back on topic,
let's get back to
Jahmyr Gibbs is out, and Amon-Ra St. Brown is out too. But Jameson Williams just returned last week from the suspension, so I want to see like how that goes about it. But Sam Laporta I think that's the real key to this offense. Sam Laporta has been stepping up. Big fantasy find. If you have him in fantasy, if you guys play fantasy, go get Sam Laporta. He's been balling a lot. And it's funny about this Lions team, like, because you go in, like, okay, we need to stop, like, number 5, Montgomery, right? Or we need to slow down Jared Goff. But they don't have, like, these huge, like, all-star, like, amazing players to where it's like, all right, well, we got this, like, because like Amon St. Brown, then he was out, but they still scored 40. Like all this other type of stuff. It's like this team doesn't have a ton of talent, especially on offense, but they still seem to get it done. So it's a shout out to Ben Johnson because of that, and Jared Goff playing well. So it's kind of like we need to slow the passing game around, slow down, make you be with the running. Like I really don't know how to focus in on like what and who to key on specifically to slow this offense down from the defensive standpoint of the Tampa Bay Bucks, because they still have other people making plays,
And there goes Khalif Raymond for a bomb.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? This team has that capability. Ben Johnson, the thing I love about him, and I'll get right back to you, Jay. Ben Johnson has a feel for when he wants to dial up some shit. Like that dude knows, like sudden change situations right after a turnover on just a couple plays after there was like a punt. We talked about it when they played against the Seahawks. They caught Devin Witherspoon with a penalty, a PI, hit him with a double move, double pass type of situation. Those type of things is what Ben Johnson does very, very well. Did y'all see the direct snap to David Montgomery when Jared Goff was under center? Did y'all see that?
I didn't see
Jared Goff is under center, right? He doesn't have his hands under the center like to receive the snap. He's calling a motion in line and surveying the defense, right? But he's standing, his legs are like just a little bit wide because it's a direct snap to David Montgomery from this on a 3rd and 6. And they go out there, he looks and he signals a motion like this. And
I did see it. Wasn't it in the red zone?
Yeah, was it in the red zone?
Yeah, I did see it. I did see it.
Just as he gets to the edge, they snap the ball. Goff just like he just stands there, went right to David Montgomery, and he ran through the B gap.
That was the dope. Yeah, that was a dope ass play. I know what play you're talking about.
Yeah, like he just has like 3rd and 6. Okay, what pass play? Like, because it's Ben Johnson. What pass plays Ben Johnson gonna do right here? Now, bro, I'm gonna pass it through my quarterback's legs, and my running back's gonna take it up the middle. Like, yeah, those type of things. And I just love really seeing that from this offense right now, and especially utilizing this offensive line. To swing it over to the Bucs defense just one more time before we go to the other side of the ball right now. Jay, this Bucs defense from Todd Bowles. What are your early impressions?
Like you said, Corday, obviously the blitzing and all of that, but he's changed up a little bit. He does like to run some zone here and there. He likes to do more coverage. He's not blitzing as much as he used to.
Right. 4th in the NFL right now this year in blitz rate.
Yeah.
4th. They used to be like top 2 or 1.
Yeah, bro. I mean, he was.
The year they won the Super Bowl, I think they were the heaviest. Yeah.
Now, I will say this, though. I would expect him to blitz maybe to get back to that, because that's one thing about Jared Goff I've noticed in the tape watching, bro, is that, like I mentioned earlier, he holds on to the ball a little bit too much. And when you put pressure on Jared Goff, if you could put, I mean, obviously you put pressure on any quarterback, it shuts down the passing game or whatever. But I feel like that's how you really stop this Lions offense, bro, because the run game is still getting it together. I like what David Montgomery is doing. I like what the running game is doing, but I feel like if you put pressure on Jared Goff, because he's holding on to the ball a little bit too long, it will cause him to make mistakes. It will cause him to take sacks, and it will come back to the Buccaneers offense, who's really, I mean, right now, we didn't touch on it yet, but Baker Mayfield, the way he's
playing. We'll get there. Oh, yeah. We're going to get there next. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm expecting, I want to see Todd Bowles actually get back to the blitzing just a little bit more in this game in particular, because I feel like you got to shut down that passing game. I feel like to do it, you need to add pressure. You need to put pressure on Jared Goff, and it's going to be hard to do it. Our Lions got one of the best offensive lines. I get it. But like I mentioned for the 3rd, 4th time now, Jared Goff is holding on to the ball a little bit too long. That's really my only flaw with him. And you can't do that with a Todd Bowles defense, especially if they're blitzing, putting pressure on you like that.
The way that he's deploying these fronts, like Bowles is doing something a little bit different with the different amount of people he's putting out there in fronts. So he's using like these penny fronts, which are when you put a 0 technique, which is usually Vita Vea. And then at the 3 technique, it's a mix of like Logan Hall, maybe William Ghostin. Or even sometimes he might walk up Devin White into that A gap right there as well and use him as a blitz threatener. And then on the edge, he's got Joe Tryon Sherlinka, and he's got Shaq Barrett. and then behind them is the other backer. So let's say it's Devin White walked up in the A gap, then you're going to have what's his butt? I can't even think of
Devontae
it. That's my guy,
David.
Vontae David.
You can't
Behind
forget
him.
him. That's your boy.
That's my guy. That's my guy. I
Yes.
just blanked on his name. I was like 54 because I was watching all 22 on him today.
Yeah.
Right.
Like walked up over there. But basically, you put that linebacker right behind that zero technique. It does two things. One, it makes you have to account for 5 pass rushers, have blitz protection on every play. 2, because the alignment with the 2 wide 9s on the edge, your outside run is kind of killed because of the leverage of the edge players and because of that middle linebacker sitting right there who's free to flow with the 3 hogs in front of him, especially on the zero. When you have someone head up on the center, that center can't slide and reach to another 3 technique, right? So now you're in a real big-ass conundrum, right? And that's what Todd Bowles does. He makes conundrums for the offense, and I can't wait to see how those different things included with his blitz. Granted, like you said, Jay, it's not as much. It's still there, but it's not as much as before. And I want to see, though, as they like continue to do things where they move the front, right? Some teams are known to move the secondary, move shifts, safety rotation post snap, right? This is a team that more so does like front rotation post snap, where like they'll crash one side to the left, they'll crash one side to the right, they'll drop somebody out and send a second guy. Like Todd Bowles, I really love that he's getting back to this. So that's kind of what I want to look at from this defense as I watch the Bucs, is how this Lions offensive line go ahead and handles all of that movement and chaos. Now, swing it back to you, Corday, as we look at the defense right now for the Lions. Aiden Hutchinson, what are your thoughts?
Dog. I know your name.
Man, I learned a stat earlier this week. He's leading all defensive linemen in pressures. Jaguars messed up by taking Walker over him.
Oh man, you just literally read my notes.
Yeah. I mean, I remember at the time I thought it was a dumb move because of Trent Baalke likes dudes with long arms and certain builds, and I was just like, go with the dude who's proven, who's got the great motor, who's been doing it. I mean, because the other guy only had 4 sacks in 3 seasons, and so I'm just like, yo, you should go with something that's that's a for sure bet. But hey, it's the Lions' benefit because he's solidifying that D line. He had a pick a week ago or something like that.
On a screen pass.
Snatch
that stuff like this.
Yeah. And it was funny because he wasn't wearing gloves. It's always funny to me when a player wears gloves most of the game, and then all of a sudden you could tell they had to rush out there on the field. And then he got a pass. You know, some people ain't got hands; they got to need gloves. So I'm like, he realized that if you catch it without gloves and on a screen pass, so it's just more of the.
That was a crazy play, but keep going. That was a crazy.
He does have an ability to do that not a lot of defensive linemen do.
Yeah, because I remember he did it in his rookie year too. It's like I remember like it was I think they were trying to float it out there, and he like hurry up, jumped up and got it too. So it's a sneaky like instincts. Those sneaky instincts of like, oh, they let me go up to like let me drop back a little bit, or if I can't get there, it's for a reason I could jump up and like do little stuff like that.
Because quarterbacks are taught on screen passes to throw it one of 2 ways. They're taught to do a free throw, is what they call it, a free throw, where it's basically like over the top, right? Like you just float it. Like Derek Carr, one of his last years in Las Vegas, I swear he accentuated the free throw. Like, geez, dude. And then if you're not going to do that, you gotta like arm angle it. You got to arm angle it under an incoming rusher.
Around the defender. If he's like right here in front of you, you throw it around him. So it's kind of like a curve. You kind of like
exactly
around him, so it can like go. And it's like some Matthew Stafford naturally throws.
Matthew Stafford, Yeah,
so,
Mahomes and those guys who can do that. We've seen Aiden Hutchinson make interceptions on both of the ways that quarterbacks are taught to release screen passes. That's pretty crazy. But anyway, keep going, bro.
So he's doing amazing, leading all defensive linemen in pressures. Really just helping that defense. He's become more of a beast more this year. The secondary is playing well, which was like the hindrance of their team last year. The goon with the blue mask who left my Eagles, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is playing well, helping solidify.
He's hurt now. He's hurt. He's hurt. He hasn't played in the last couple of weeks. He's hurt.
But when he was in there,
he was playing.
Well.
He was moving. He was killing it. But
but the other guys, though, the other guys, Jerry Jacobs, I know CJ's high on him. He's playing well.
CJ,
Will Harris.
Yeah,
he's playing solid. You know what I'm saying? So
your boy Branch, another rookie Branch
would have got hurt in the Packer game. He didn't play last week against Carolina, but
overall though,
he didn't practice. Oh, he's killing. He's on the field.
players contribute. So they have like a lot of great depth and all these players who stepping up. Even hurt, even before they got hurt, they were stepping up and playing well. So this defense is looking good. And the fact that some of the players that we're naming played well, and then now they're hurt, and this defense is still playing solid, still balling. It shows like the depth and how much they've came from since last year when they had to fire the secondary coach when they was averaging giving up 38 points a game.
Yeah.
So it shows the growth of this team and the growth of the pass rush. It's showing how great this defense is forming into. And this is why they're 4-1. This is why they're 4-1 and haven't lost more close games, because the defense has been able to step up even with injuries.
Absolutely. I will say this though, real quick. I will say this. I think if the pass rush is not getting to the quarterback, the secondary is not that good. I will say that for the Lions.
Interesting.
I will say that.
That's okay.
Well, I mean, having a great pass rush,
though. It complements. It complements.
It complements it.
I just think. But anyway, yeah.
It is something that to that improvement, Corday, that you're talking about. I'm glad you brought it up that way, because right now this Lions team runs man 18th most in the NFL. They are the top 13th in terms of the amount of times that they deploy zone coverage. What that really shows to me, it shows that growth. When Aaron Glenn was previously there, before they fired the defensive coordinator, that team was running blitzes at a crazy rate. Right? This year, they are 31st in blitz rate. When they were also doing that, they were very heavy in man. They are 18th in man. Once they fired that defensive coordinator, they more so started to lean into a little bit more zone, but not as heavy as they have now. So if you talk about a philosophical shift to right something that was wrong, this is something that Aaron Glenn did with this squad in terms of how they are strategically approaching the way they play D. You gotta respect that. Like I love that you compare that with like the motivation and like oomph that Dan Campbell is bringing. I love to see that. I really do. Brian Banch missed week 5. We previously had mentioned that as well. I think the one thing I really wanted to say about him, that was my guy coming out. Obviously, everybody knows. But I had him as a first round pick, first half of the first round. I'd have took him in the top 10. I said that as well. He is the modern day defender, like someone who plays the run from where he can play and someone who can function in pass coverage. And I really hope he can get back on the field. He's questionable right now, and we'll go ahead and see what he's going to do. Jay, to swing this one back over to you, as we were going to go into the Tampa Bay offense before we get out of this segment and drop our scores right now. Baker Mayfield has landed himself on your ICU, rightfully so. We're seeing this unit go ahead and click. I remember Cody Mock was one of your guys coming out. He is converted to guard, and he's been playing very well as far as a pass blocker goes. His run blocking still needs some work, but he's been he's been doing well as a pass blocker. Mostly with this Tampa Bay offense. Like, I mean, you've talked about them a little bit, so I guess it's kind of hard to say something you haven't said yet, but mostly as we go into this game against the Lions, what are your expectations for them?
So a couple of things. First of all, Cody Mock, bro. I said on the pod, so listeners go back and check it out. I felt like he was the best guard coming out. We played tackle and guard, so I was hoping that Tampa put him at guard and left him there.
He played when he first got there, bro. He played tight end. He showed up on campus at 221.
Yeah.
And then he gained weight. You're right. And then he gained 80 pounds.
You talking
he
about
gained 80
Dakota?
pounds.
You talking about with
Dakota?
College?
In college.
Dakota. Yeah.
He gained 80 pounds. And then they started like, nah, you're going to be an offensive lineman.
He's like, a gritty. I mean, he's just he steamrolls people, bro. He really do steamroll people. I think he has to get better in the run block. And I'm a little disappointed with that because in college, I felt like he was
That's
solid.
what he did better.
He did that at a high level.
That's what he did better. It's so weird.
But then they played him at tackle. He played him at guard. But I like what he's doing. I really like what he's doing right now. The offensive line is playing really, really well. Baker Mayfield, though, man, we've talked about him on the show and we talked about him in the chat, and it's again, this is like my third, fourth time bringing it up, but when we talked about him early on to the season when he couldn't hit passes with Kyle Trask, and we were making jokes about that training camp or OTAs, whatever it was, we're looking at him now as game of the week for us. And he's playing at a high level right now, and he's playing like how he was playing his first year in Cleveland. He's playing the way he was playing in college, just like real comfortable, no drama, no, wide receiver problems or anything like that. He's playing at a high level. The only thing that concerns me is Mike Evans. I don't know if it don't look like Mike Evans is going to play this week. He's Baker. I think that's. I mean,
he needs him.
He needs Mike. However, I will say he's building some chemistry with Chris Godwin.
Godwin's still a very good player.
Yeah, I think he kind of became forgotten about a little bit.
He had that lower body issue, injury that never quite rectified itself, but he did it seems to be better now. He's moving more like Chris Godwin.
Mm-hmm.
He tore his ACL last year, and I feel like that he should have sat out a few games to start the season because he missed all preseason. Started the first game.
I thought he tore it the year before. And then came and played I thought he tore it the year before, and then came and played last year, but wasn't all the way right.
I'm saying he was coming off it last year.
Oh yeah.
And he wasn't
exact. That's a great point.
He didn't practice all preseason, and then he started practicing the week of the game. And then I'm like, man, you should probably hold him out because I think they were thinking they should put him on PUP. First game goes out there for like a series or two. Pulls a hamstring or something like that, and then he just wasn't right for the rest of the year.
Yeah, injuries has definitely been a big thing for him, but he's healthy now, and Baker's starting to build that chemistry with him, and I think that's very important because if Mike Evans can't go, you're going to need him for that game, and he's starting to build that over the last couple games, so that's important. And then the coaches too, just really having that trust. I see the coaches really having trust in Baker. You know, Baker had his issues with Hugh Jackson,
Canales, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
gotta give him props.
You got to. You know, so yeah, I think Baker's playing at a high level. The offensive line is playing at a high level. The offense in general is playing at a high level. So yeah, man, I like. I can't believe I'm really talking about this right. We kind of briefly brought it up, but I didn't know it was the game of the week versus the Lions. I mean, I knew I had the Lions winning, you know, as far as the division. We did,
right?
But week 6,
but we didn't have this type of expectations for the Bucs. We really didn't, and it's mainly driven by what we have seen from Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
This offense for Tampa Bay last week put up 20. No, this was not last week. Last week they were on a bye. The week before they put up 26. Their last game that they played, they put up 26 on New Orleans. New Orleans has held teams below 20 points in their last 11 straight games until this one. And if you think about all the different people that they're going to play against within that stretch, that's an impressive feat. That is an impressive feat. Right now, Baker is third in the NFL in play action rate. And one thing that I think that has done primarily for him, and I talked about this in the group chat when I was playing some NFL All 22, was his timing is getting dialed back in. His timing is more present. When Baker is playing on time, he's able to really accentuate the gifts that he has. He has quick twitch ability. He can get his feet down and his hips turned and his arm fired and deliver a really powerful ball quicker than most quarterbacks have all the capability to do those things. When it becomes a problem for him is when he's not like on time, when he's outside of that rhythm, when he starts to break down. And like the longer like a play goes on, he starts to get skittish, and the things that he does well are now vacated from his options, right? And we saw this in college. We saw him do that in college, and so it probably developed some habits to where he thinks he could get away from it in the NFL. In the NFL, sure, sometimes it'll work when you still are a strong dude, but over and over and over again, as teams start to develop a way to play against you, you can take that away. And I think with Canales indoctrinating the play action into his game, when you run play action a lot, it starts to become more of a okay. It's more like timing based. It's more rhythm based, right? It forces you to execute play action under center, especially like they do. It forces you to play within a rhythm, and I think that has helped Baker reestablish like okay, and then like be more of the quarterback that he was meant to be when he's coming out of Oklahoma right now. Tristan Wirfs, another portion of that offensive line, has switched from right tackle over to left tackle and is just killing it.
He was so athletic coming out, bro. I'm not surprised.
My guy, man. Y'all remember?
Yeah, he was number one. He was number one for you.
Number one for me.
Number 2 or 3 on my list. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah, but yeah, he was definitely high on him for sure.
Yep. I remember him coming out of Iowa. Yep, AJ Epinesa was another guy on that exact same squad that same year. Hogs killing it. Corday, to swing it to you, man. Who wins? What's the score?
How do we get there? Lions, man. I got the Lions, man. I got the Lions. Weird game, just weird score, 25-20. lack of Mike Evans, and just believe in the Lions and what they're doing. Ben Johnson got them playing well over there. The player might be doing good too behind that great offensive line, and the player.
What,
So I got the
The
Lions.
player. He
what
can't even. He
player,
can't even
my
say his name.
guy? What player? Come on, man.
Jared Goff, that player.
Oh, okay. David Montgomery. Okay, I get it. Cold name. I get it.
Cold day, exactly.
All right. Corday is taking the Lions. Jay, where are you falling? How do we get there?
Got the upset. Got the Buccaneers, bro.
Oh,
As a matter of fact,
buy it in like that.
I'm buying in. I like look, man. I feel like the pressure is going to get to Jared Goff. I like what the offensive line is really doing on Tampa Bay, bro. I mean,
they are right now. They are to your point. I'll let you keep going. My bad. But to your point, they are the best pass blocking offensive line in the NFL according to PFF right now.
And that's what they do. They pass the ball. They don't even run. They rarely run the ball. Rarely run the ball.
Yeah, they really don't.
I like what they're doing on that offense. I like this offense to really take on that defensive line of the Lions. I like Aiden. Corday, you brought up some good points. Matter of fact, that play remind me of the Khalil Mack play. Jordan when we
against Buffalo.
Carolina.
Cam Newton.
Yeah,
that was good.
Crazy.
That was
When Jack Del Rio was the head coach. But anyway, I like what the Buccaneers is doing, man, and I really do feel like that secondary can be tested. I think that they're going to test that secondary, man. If they can get the blocking that they need, which I feel like Tampa Bay can, I feel like that secondary could be had a little bit. So of the Lions. So give me Tampa Bay. Give me. I think there's going to be a high scoring game too. So give me. Let's see here. Give me. Close to the other one. Give me 30 Tampa Bay, 27 Lions.
Nice.
57. The over-under on this game coming in at 43 and a half. 43 and a half. I don't know if you want to throw any on that over, Jay. On that over.
No, I might.
They hit 44. Like, you win.
I know. I'm a bad man too. I might have to just do.
I mean, if you, and then also with Detroit minus 3.5, and you got Tampa Bay.
We know.
I mean, you could parlay that.
Oh no, I'm just like, hey, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm not a bad man. That's what I'm doing.
I thought you were talking about me. I thought you were talking about me.
No, that was just like,
Jay.
I was like, I don't know. Maybe that's not.
If you want bet.
I might. We'll see. Because I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a high score. I think the defense is gonna play well. Both defenses gonna play well to a certain extent, but I think Tampa Bay is gonna expose them.
Emmanuel Mosley, man. Word of silence for him, man.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Mosley last year tore his left ACL. Yeah, he tore his left ACL last year, like at some point early on. Rehabbed, got that healthy, signed with Detroit in the offseason, had a little setback at the start of the year, I want to say. And anyway, then just last week came back, played a very minimal amount of snaps, tore the right ACL.
Yeah.
That's so. I just hate to see. I hate to see that, man. We all hate to see that. Yeah. But to get back to the game, I think what's going to happen. Let me go. I'm gonna go with Detroit, man. I'm gonna go with Detroit. Both defenses, I think, are solid, and between these two quarterbacks, I think Jared Goff is playing and has played better right now, and that's where I'm going to reside. Especially if we talk about which one I think is going to suffer more without their ace, because Amon-Ra St. Brown I want to say he got a practice in this last week, but still remains questionable for this game. And both guys are going to want to have their dude. But I think if Jared Goff is without him, I think Ben Johnson has enough in the tank for this offense to still put out enough to be able to combat what we're going to see from Baker. I think that over-under total sitting at 43.5 sounds pretty cool. I'm going to fall in line somewhere around there. Yeah, let me call it 24-20 Lions. We call it 24-20 Lions. I think they cover as well.
Nice.
They cover as well.